We are here once again to do another top 10 in FIFA 22. In this video today, we're going to be covering the best strikers available currently in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team. If you need some coins to improve your Ultimate Team, look no further than IG Vault for the cheapest coins on the market. And if you use the code Kieran at checkout, you'll get yourself a nice little discount off your order. Now, maybe a bit controversial, but we're not going to include icons in this top 10 just because at this stage of the FIFA, we would just be full of icons. I am going to do a separate icon striker video because obviously there is so many of them, so look out for that in the future. But I'm telling you, we have a really good selection today. I'll say straight away, remember, this is completely my opinion and you are fully able to disagree, and if you do disagree, let me know your top 10 in the comment section down below. I don't expect anyone to obviously agree with every single selection that I do, including the ranking of them as well. I think my top 2 will definitely divide opinion as well, just with the way that I have ranked them. So before we actually get into my top 10, I do want to do a couple of notable mentions because we've got some pretty good cards that I've actually missed out. One of them being Gabriel Jesus, who I think is very good this year. Lautaro Martinez didn't make it, Aubameyang didn't make it, which might surprise some of you, and Timo Werner is a player who also didn't make it. Now, Timo Werner, I do expect a lot of you to actually have in your top 10. For me personally, when I use him, he isn't that effective. However, when I come up against him, I fear the worst because he always scores against me. He's a nightmare to handle, but just for me personally, I just can't seem to get the most out of him. So that is very frustrating. But as I say, I can understand why some of you definitely would like him. There's also a few heroes which I haven't included. Tim Cahill isn't in there. Didn't really like him that much. Al Jabba isn't in there either, even though he's pretty decent. Just don't think he's, too easy to link and stuff like that. But actually has a decent card, but the 3-star is obviously very limited. There's also a bunch of other hero strikers, but we'll get into some of them later on in the video. Anyway, I've rambled for long enough. Let's get into my actual top 10 so far this year. It is also worth me saying, obviously, we're still in the first month of the game, so there are many good strikers that will come soon, and I will do an updated list in the future. And with that also comes the fact that, obviously, I have not used every single striker in the game yet. So yeah, obviously some will miss out just on me not using them, but, that was pretty obvious. Anywho, in at number 10 for me is going to be Griezmann. He's pretty cheap this year. I feel, well, to be fair, everyone's pretty cheap this year. The market is in the bin. Anyway, Griezmann, very good, and one of the main reasons for him being effective this year for me personally is the fact that finesse shots are back, and he has that finesse shot trait, and his left foot is absolutely brilliant. It's just a shame he's very limited with his weak foot only having 3 stars, but that left foot is absolutely class. He's got insane dribbling, his passing's also really nice, and he's a pretty complete attacker as well. I just wish he was a bit, faster and had a bit better physicals, but other than that, terrific card, technically class, and if you haven't used him yet, definitely worth a go. Actually makes for a really good striker and also a pretty good cam option as well, so you do get some good utility value out of Griezmann, and I'm sure he'll get some special cards at some point in this year's game, and I'm sure they'll be pretty damn effective in-game as well. Following on from him, in at number 9 is going to be Yeda, a player who regularly features in the most effective strikers in FIFA, has been an absolute menace for the past few years. I believe in previous FIFAs as well, he's had high work rates. This year, high-low, which definitely benefits him with his stamina never being that great, so he's not running all over, and now he's just making, regular direct attacking runs, which helps him out a lot. It really does. The 5-star weak foot for me, though, is the big thing on this card. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, the best combination for a striker, in my opinion. I know some people, well, aside from 5-star, 5-star, obviously, I know some people would prefer 5-star skills and a 4-star weak foot, but for me personally, 5-star weak foot on a striker just helps out so much. It makes you so much more unpredictable, and yeah, it's good. It is my favourite thing in the game, the 5-star weak foot for an attacker. Anyway, rambling. Let's get back onto Yeda. Goal scoring ability is just so good. It really is. His dribbling ability is top tier as well. I just wish his physicals obviously were a bit better. But other than that, great card. And once again, so cheap for this stage of the game at well under 20,000 coins. In at number 8 is actually one of the more high-rated cards. In fact, it is the most high-rated card in this video. It's Lewandowski, who his finishing's mad this year. It's so, I mean, it's good every year, but this year it is sublime. It really is. 4-star on him as well. Great aerial ability, very good positioning, decent passing as well. He's just class this year. Really, really good. Obviously doesn't quite have the breakaway edge which some other players do, but really, really good physically. And as I say, in front of goal, there really are not many better players in the game. He is just effective this year. He really, really is. You can actually get away with slower strikers this year. I think in previous FIFAs, Luan may not have made my top 10 at all, even at the start, just due to not having the pace. But it's not as important this year, in my opinion. But yeah, Luan definitely in my top 10 this year, just so clinical. Memphis Depay is going to be the next player we are going to talk about, and in particular his one-to-watch item because of, well, his one-to-watch or his inform, because obviously a bit better than the non-inform, but to be fair, his non-inform probably would have made my list as well. I just really like him. He's just got like stupid power in his shots this year, and the cross-goal shots with him are just super effective, and although he doesn't actually have the finesse shot trait, he also can produce some ridiculously good finesses as well. High low air crits keep him pushing upfield and making good runs, and for me personally, he's just class, and he's a nightmare as well because he's got good pace, good dribbling, and also good physical, so it's not easy for defenders to handle, especially at this stage of the game where not all of them have loads of pace and loads of physicals. Obviously some of the top tier ones do, but not all of them do, and because of that, Depay can run riot in some games, and I always like him in the game. I just wish he had a better weak foot. That's the only thing that holds him back, in my opinion. Just missing out on a top 5 spot for me is Erling Haaland, who this year is very, very good at the start. Like, in front of goal, just stupid in regards to like finishing ability. He really, really is. Wish he had a better weak foot, and I wish his passing was a bit better. But other than that, great card. And it costs like 20k. I know I've commented on the market already. It's stupid this year, but you can pick up an 88 rated Haaland for that kind of price. It is just ridiculous. Aerial ability is class. He's got good pace. He's very good at hold-up play. Shame the passing isn't a bit better for that, but like for actual protecting the ball, he's very good. And yeah, it's just a goal scoring ability. That's what puts him in this position. He's just stupid in front of goal. That left foot is absolutely godly. And I can understand why some people might not like this card, but if you have the right playstyle for him, he's absolutely unreal this year. But as I say, if you don't have the right playstyle for him, I can understand why you wouldn't rank him as highly. But for me, Haaland just so good this year. So good. In at number 5 is going to be Player of the Month, Benzema. Now, I know I've said this for a few cards, but in previous FIFAs, I have not liked the Benzema, and he hasn't been all that effective. This year, however, he's ridiculously good. Like, really, really good. Like, obviously, he doesn't have, like, incredible pace, but he's got the 4-star. He's got the finesse shot trait, which, like I've said, is very valuable this year. In general, his finishing is brilliant. His passing for a forward is class, and his dribbling ability is also really nice. And on top of that, he's also got good physicals. He's pretty much the complete package this year. And like I've already touched on, his pace isn't outstanding, but not too many people have like the actual breakaway ability this year, so it's not as important. And obviously you just got so many fast centre-backs that catch people anyway. I think Benzema's class this year, and if you disagree in the comments, please do let me know why, but honestly, I think he's really good this year, and that Player of the Month card is a nightmare to deal with in Champs. Robbie Keane is going to be the first hero in my top 10, and you might be surprised to see an Arsenal fan pushing what essentially is a Tottenham-based card, but this item is ridiculous in game, and it's one of them of, if you know, you know. If you've used him, you'll know how clinical this guy is. He's got the 4-star, he's got very good pace, his positioning is top class. Like I've already touched on, his finishing ability is brilliant. He's also got the finesse shot trait, which is just really helpful this year. Passing is good enough, especially at this stage of the game, and his dribbling is certainly not too bad either, and even his physicals are up to a very good standard for this stage of the game. All in all, just a very, very good striker option. Obviously not cheap with him being a Premier League card and obviously being one of the new items which just have some hype. But I'm glad he's not... what am I saying? What I'm trying to say is I'm glad he's not cheap because I don't want to be coming up against him too often. I don't know how I mucked that up so much. Anyway, let's get into the top 3, and in at 3 is an Ultimate Team legend who back in the day was an absolute beast. It is, of course, Di Natale. He wasn't just a beast back in the day, he's a beast now with this Foot Heroes item, which it's expensive. I know he's mega expensive, but he's so good as well. Once again, he's got the pace, he's got the shooting, he's got the passing, he's got the dribbling. His physicals is probably where he's held back a bit versus other strikers, but he's just so good in game. Once again, I'm going to say it does have the finesse shot trait, which I'll say it again, is so effective this year. He's also got the outside the foot shot trait too, which is pretty useful at times. But what do I like about this card the most? It's once again the finishing ability and also the positioning. Just makes good runs, gets into good areas, and just does a great job. He's a very complete striker this year. Good stats in every area. Very, very good item, and definitely a premium striker choice. Like, if you're running with a Serie A team and you've got the coins, it's a no-brainer to have this guy up front. He is by miles the best striker available to sides like that. Okay, so now we're about to head into my top two, and it's pretty obvious who the remaining two are. It's Mbappe and Ronaldo. So they're both 91 rated and they're both ridiculously good. And this ultimately is going to come down to preference. Some people are going to prefer Mbappe this year. Some people are going to prefer Ronaldo. And I personally prefer Ronaldo this year. So in at number 2 is going to be Kylian Mbappe, who, as we all know, has got the 5-star skills. He's got ridiculous pace and obviously really good goal scoring ability. I think he is top draw this year, and honestly there is not much between him and Ronaldo, but there's one thing Ronaldo does ahead of him, which is why he's number 1, and we'll discuss that when we talk more about him. But I want to come back to Mbappe. It's a card which I always love in FIFA. He has not had a bad card for years, and yeah, he's going to be mega expensive all year long, especially with those premium PSG links that he has, on top of that also just being a phenomenal striker. So yeah, easy to have this guy, and I think he'll be in like everyone's top 5, even if they include icons, because he's that damn good. I'm expecting a lot of people to have him as number 1, but for me, as I say, it is going to be Ronaldo. Why is Ronaldo my number 1 in this game? Honestly, it's his aerial ability. I think him and Mbappe are just so close in everything. Obviously Mbappe is quicker, but in regards to shooting, Ronaldo probably edges him in finishing. Mbappe beats him in dribbling. Ronaldo probably just edges him in passing. But in regards to physicals and aerial ability, Ronaldo is the clear winner. And I just feel like in this year's game that helps out so much. Well, it does with my style of play anyway. So that's why for me, he is number 1. And when I say aerial ability, I don't just mean scoring headers. I mean retaining possession. Like, if you're booting the ball out from the goalkeeper, you need to aim for someone if you want to retain possession. Ronaldo is that guy, because not only is he like tall, but he just has like freakish jumping ability and just wins most headers and most aerial battles, which is just really beneficial in this year's game when you definitely need to keep possession. So that's why for me personally, Ronaldo is number 1. But let's be honest, but him and Mbappe, like, the differences are just minuscule, and like I've said, it will come down to play style, which one you prefer. In the comments below, obviously let me know which one you would have at number 1. So guys, those are my rankings for the best strikers in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team, obviously minus icons, which we are going to do a separate video on at some point in the future, so check out the channel for that. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave a like rating on it, but be sure to be active in the comments most importantly. I want to know who are your favourite strikers in this year's Ultimate Team. Have I missed someone out who you feel I should have mentioned? How would you rank the players who I have mentioned? Let me know all that good stuff down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one.